welcome into another bonus episode here at Hockey Inside Out. Cole Caufield, he's going to be due a big payday after what he's done so far in the last 18 months as a Montreal Canadien. Gentlemen, your thoughts on Cole Caufield and what type of payday he will receive after the season?
Well, I mean, look, he's on pace for almost point per game. He's going to get his money, and being as close he is to Suzuki, he's probably going to say, "Give me what Nick got," because I like it and I'm deserving of it, and I really enjoy Montreal. I enjoy everything that's going on here, so probably looking at a long-term eight-year deal at about $7.5 million, I'm guessing.
I would think he would slot just below Suzuki, just because Suzuki as captain and center and all the rest of it has a bit more responsibility. But it's probably a nickel and dime thing, like the $20 bonus that Kaniemi took, and it was worth every dime of that. By the way, no, you can't argue with paying the kid. Although he should have to pay 15% of everything for the next 10 years to Martin St. Louis for maybe saving his career. I was thinking this morning about what might have happened had Ducharme remained till the end of the season last year. How discouraged Caufield might have been, whether or not we had seen this potential, and then you have to stew over it all summer before you get to come back and prove that you're really the scorer you think you are. I know when Gorton and Hughes came in, they were saying they were going to stick with Ducharme to the end of the season, and thank God they didn't, because it's scary to think what might have happened.
Yeah, that's one of those examples of it's not about winning or losing. It's about maintaining a through line into next season and keeping guys developing and not stagnating. I think the starting point for Cole Caufield will probably be an offer in and around the $7 million range for 8 years. But, he does have an agent, and they know the cap is going up massively in about 2 years' time. So they're probably going to end up in a situation where it wouldn't be surprising that Cole Caufield makes more than Nick Suzuki. In an ideal world, I think you build that culture that like the Boston Bruins have, where you have guys like Brad Marchand, who has an incredible career, but he looks at Patrice Bergeron, who had a long-term contract, and says, well, I can't make more than Patrice Bergeron, so this is what I want. And everybody kind of falls in line and takes less than their worth to maintain that winning core. And that would be great for the Montreal Canadiens. But realistically, how many 40 goal scorers sign long-term contracts for under $7 million, especially if the cap's going to be $90+ million in the next couple of years? I wouldn't be surprised at all if Cole Caufield's next contract starts with an 8. I wouldn't even be surprised if it starts with a 9. If he scores 45, 50 goals this season and they aren't able to get that contract done until he gets to that point, the number is going to go up. It's just the facts of the matter. And we have to remember that Nick Suzuki at 5-on-5 wasn't an offensive producer until he got put with Cole Caufield. Yeah, Suzuki's the captain and he is the center and he is probably the most important forward on the team, but Cole Caufield did unlock his offensive abilities. So there's a lot to love about Cole Caufield. I think it honestly doesn't matter what he makes as long as they sign him to an 8-year contract. The big fear is a bridge deal, which we know the last GM probably would have elected to do, and this GM hopefully will not.
As you brought up the point, along with Rick and Jack, about the long-term deal here. Let's not forget that the cap will go up, as you made the point before, Andrew, but also the Canadian TV rights deal will expire in 4 years from now, and the cap will go up even more. So does Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon play that angle that, hey, you can make a lot more in the back end of your deal if you take a little bit less in the first 4 years? Rick Green, would that be the play to go with if you're the GM for this team?
Well, I mean, let's face it. Like Jack mentioned, there are nickels and dimes here when it comes down to these type of players that fit in that category, that they're going to get paid very, very well, one way or the other. And I'm sure this discussion is going on, and I'm sure that they're doing all of the calculations on what they think will work best. But I really believe that whatever they decide on, that you're not going to have to deal with a drawn out summer question period of when is Cole Caufield going to get signed. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah,
Jack,
and Jeff Gorton had said recently that like, don't worry about it. It's going to happen. They are not worried about signing Cole Caufield. He clearly loves playing here. I think if I was an agent, I feel like you have to have this balance between, getting the player money right now they probably want, but look at escrow right now. It's up around like 20%. If I'm a player and I'm confident like Cole Caufield that I'm going to have a long career, I'm like, okay, next year, pay me like $2 million. So I pay less escrow and then backload the deal like crazy when the cap goes up and they're not paying back like the COVID escrow tax that they're paying back right now. That's what I would do.
What I really think helps here is that Hughes is the GM. You have a guy who spent most of his career on the other side of the table. He knows every in and out of negotiations. He knows what the opposing agent is going to be looking for. And he's looking to keep his players happy. I look at the way he handled Jordan Harris. He laid everything out. He had a background with the kid. He had every reason in the world why Harris would come here. But he was open with him and said, look, you have alternatives. You don't have to come here. This is what Montreal represents. And I'm sure they'll take the same process in signing Caufield. And I think he knows exactly what it's going to take to get it done, and he'll get it done. I have enormous confidence in him there. This was a brilliant hire. Hughes, I'm talking about here.
One thing's for sure with Ken Hughes is that he does not want to handcuff the Habs cap situation by giving Suzuki and Caufield perhaps a big dollar deal that might limit his other options here, because we see with other teams, guys, how that's played out for them. But we'll find out in the coming weeks, months, maybe within a year or so on what the Montreal Canadiens will do. That'll do for this bonus episode here of Hockey Inside Out. Submit your questions and your comments, and we look forward to conversing about that on a future episode. And don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube page for Hockey Inside Out. And also go on to the MontrealGazette.com/newsletters for the latest information on the Montreal Canadiens throughout the course of the season. And for bonus content and full episodes, head on by Hockey Inside Out. We'll speak to you soon. Have a great week. Bye for now.